And we're back.
So we're going to talk about Grinchmas VIP tour. We're going to talk about the regular VIP tour because we didn't get a chance to talk about that either last year when we went on it on the podcast.
So which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with Grinchmas because, you know,
Okay.
it's a holiday. And you can find both these videos over at Lostgirlintomorrowland too if you want to. But Grinchmas was something that we've been wanting to do for a very long time. Ever since the Grinch was at the Universal stuff and just seeing the interactions with the character and stuff like that, I've wanted to go personally. And I was like, we have to go see this. And it probably happened like 2 or 3 years ago. I was just like, this is really cool. We're not really Universal people at the time.
No.
But we were living in, I think, Vegas too.
Yep.
And it was just like, I really want to go see this. Let's see if we can make it happen. And every year we've just not had the scheduling.
Yeah, we've been busy or not close.
But this year we've been trying to do a better job with scheduling and working things in that we really wanted to do. And this was one of them. And it lived up to every expectation. Seriously. So it was just amazing. We had a great tour guide. His name was Sean with a U.
Yep.
I don't know why he says that, but that's his thing.
I think there might have been another Sean there. So if you are taking a Universal tour, you can always ask for him. He may or may not be still giving regular tours. Apparently it's very competitive.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah, he was fantastic, which was an absolute opposite to the previous one that we took, which we'll talk about.
We also had like an adults only group, which
that was amazing too.
He was like, this never happens where we don't have kids. And I was
so
like,
much.
I was just like, I looked around. I was like, oh yeah, we're all adults here.
And it's not to hate on kids.
No hating on kids.
But it's just like,
it's a different vibe.
Well, and our perspectives of what we want to do are very different. Like I want to be able to talk about how long it takes for the Grinch to get makeup, like how long it takes for, you know, the Santa Claus character to come in. You know what I mean? Like, is he coming all the way from the North Pole? Like, how long does that trip take? I want to be able to have those discussions. And
without
I feel like
ruining the magic for a little one.
Exactly. You know, like you can't expect, like, where do they store Rudolph? I mean, where does he at? Why is Santa?
Or like Max too, like talking about how there's only one Max and there's only one Grinch. The fact that they have all of these characters that match so closely and in their makeup and their tone, talking about the Grinch, but the fact that because they have the Grinch that does the meet and greet for the VIP tour, that's all he does all day.
Yeah, and there's a few of them too. It's not just one guy.
So like it's a separate Grinch for the VIP tour than the Grinch for the regular people going into the park lining up to meet the Grinch. So they're two different areas, they're two different people, so to speak. Same thing for the show. Obviously that's a different Grinch, although I think he said sometimes the person who does the show also does the meet and greets. So I'm sure they have like a pool of about 15 people. And I'm guessing, they did not give me this information, that they can rotate through, still have days off and have time to break.
Well, we watched another vlogger go to the show, and I'm pretty sure the person in the show was the guy we met with.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure that was our Grinch, who was, by the way, phenomenal. But we'll get to him in a second. Like even Santa Claus
was amazing.
It was an amazing experience with Santa Claus. He was so sweet and kind. And it was lovely.
It felt
for lack of a better term, it was just lovely.
The Santa Claus was very warm and open and just jovial. And if I could say that this is what I thought Santa Claus would be like if he was a real person, he is the closest to that. And, you know, as a kid, you meet Santas at Walmarts and malls and all that stuff. And I just think he nailed it on the head. And if I was a kid, I would have been a believer.
Yeah, he was lovely. And then
even as an adult, I think I was a believer. I'm not going to lie. I was like, nope, Santa's real.
And I think he was the same Santa that was in the parade too.
It's possible.
Which would make sense because the VIP ends at the parade. So like it would make sense that he was up there.
And the only way you can meet Santa Claus at Universal Orlando is to do this tour.
Which is strange. Not a bad way, just strange.
It's a little perk.
Yeah.
A little perk.
It was so cool. So we'll detail it a little bit in case you haven't seen the video on Lost Girl in Tomorrowland. You get there early in the morning. Now you have some activities.
Hmm.
So if you do this VIP tour, you might not do it in the exact order that we do it because they're kind of split up and depending
Hmm.
on what group you're in. But we're just going to kind of go through ours,
Because they don't
give you
want
a
all
general
of the
idea.
groups at the same place at the same time.
Right. It's just time management, project management. Yeah. So we started our tour and it started at, I think, 10. Was it
Hmm.
10? You don't even go to the parks. You go to City Walk and they have this little like Christmas club.
Yeah, there's a bar up in City Walk that they theme for different holidays. So it's the Dead Club during Halloween Horror Nights, and it was the Reindeer Club for Christmas.
Yeah. And it's right across from Cowfish,
Hmm.
right? So it's right across on the second story of Cowfish. So it's kind of right there. It's not that far in, and you can easily find it. Cool little place. So many Christmas trees, amazing decorations. We weren't there very long though. That's kind of to me that was the sad part about it. I feel like, but it was still amazing.
Hmm. Yeah, you just do a little quick meet your guide, take a couple photos because they are Instagrammable moments. I would say in
Yeah,
that bar, it's very cute, very cute. If we had
it's
had
very
more
cute.
energy,
It's very
we
cute.
probably would have gone back to just
Oh yeah, oh yeah, hung out.
experience it,
Yeah, it was gorgeous. It kind of felt like you're at like
like a
uh
lodge, like Santa's workshop lodge.
I was gonna say it kind of feels like you're in one of those like oh, what are they called?
The snow globes.
Yeah, kind of, but it kind of felt like you're in one of those like streamline parks where they have like the silver like campers, you know, and all those are together. And it kind of feels like you're in like one of those parks kind of with a bunch of trees, and then you have like the lodge aspect of it. So it's kind of like this very like rustic Christmas thing. It was gorgeous. And definitely that in itself, we like she said would have went back if we weren't just absolutely exhausted at the end
Yeah,
of the
we
day.
were so gassed. My blood sugar bottomed out right before the tour started
Yeah.
too, so that was fun.
And I had torn something in my knee,
Yeah.
so my knee was
We
basically
were not full
taped.
speed.
My knee was basically taped to move, and that was about it. And I mean, just barely
We
like limped.
babied him for like a good solid 2 weeks
Yeah,
before this tour so that he could get the tour. Like we're like, if there's anything we do on this trip, it's this tour.
yeah.
Everything else is if you feel like it, but let's get through the tour first.
That part wasn't super fun, but the actual tour was amazing. So you leave the restaurant, lounge, kind of whatever you want to call that. You can get drinks there, so I guess lounge would probably be the best word for it. You head out and you go into the parks.
Mm-hmm.
Now we went to Isles of Adventure first, or Islands of Adventures. He gave us a little bit of tidbits, talked about how like the reefs and stuff have hidden logos
Tributes.
from old rides or current rides, which was super cool.
And that's throughout both Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios,
Yeah.
which was so cool to know because I had no clue.
Well, if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't notice.
Mm-hmm.
They're like basically like Christmas ornaments on these reefs on buildings. So it's like you have to know to look for them. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't see them. Amazing. Then we took to the parks,
And we went to
Seuss Landing,
Seuss Landing.
which is cool. It's a super cool area.
It's apparently has like the most lights and wreaths in the entire park.
Yeah,
Is Seuss Landing.
which makes sense.
Mhm.
Most of the stuff is fairly IP specific stuff, so it's not like it's very Christmassy. Whoville was cool.
Yeah, getting to see it decorated for the holidays was really neat.
They had a really cool Christmas tree trail that they clearly took the idea from Disney's back in the day when it used to be good, and they would put it in one area where the Uber drops off are now,
Yep.
where it would all be in one area and you can just kind of take it in. They're all there. Had some really cool ones, Cat in the Hat, Grinch one. I like the
Cindy
Grinch
Lou
one. Cindy Lou. The Lorax was there. One fish, two fish, blue fish, red fish, or whatever.
Yeah.
They had a tree, which was really cool too. Really cool.
It was really honestly one of the cutest little nooks, and it's included in your ticket. You don't have to be on the tour to do this.
Yes,
It's kind of over.
That's open to everybody.
It's over apparently where they used to do the Grinch show. The Grinch show apparently used to be outside.
Another little tidbit that he told us. He was like, yeah, so just so you know, the whole show used to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you would stand where the trees are and they would do the show on the stage. I can't imagine that
Nope.
because like
That show's long.
the stage has a lot of moving parts. The show is long. That is true too. The show is long, has a lot of moving parts.
Yep.
So like having the cave there and then spinning around, or the mountain, I should say, that's kind of a cave spinning around. Then you got like the town. Oh my gosh, that would be so It'd be
That's a
so cool
lot.
to see. Honestly, it'd be cool to see. It would be a lot of standing though.
Yeah. But now they're inside. They're in a soundstage.
Yeah, and not just any
Any
soundstage.
soundstage.
They're in the Nickelodeon
Nickelodeon.
soundstage.
Which I thought was really cool. He has actually been backstage for previous jobs where he partnered with Universal.
Yep.
And so he's actually been back there a few times. But for me, it was my first time going back there since I was a kid. And just a little heads up of what I'm going to try and get done this year is if I can find them, if they still exist, I am going to find the old home videos that my parents have from Universal Studios back when Nickelodeon Studios was a thing. Now, I have no idea if these videos still exist. I'm praying that they do. And if they do, I was not the camera guy. That was my father. So we'll see how his camera work was. But I am going to do my darndest to track these videos down, because when I went back there and I saw the backstage, I was like, I got to find those videos. I know they exist.
Just for y'all. We're going to make that happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversations I have to make that happen, and I'm willing to do it to bring you guys some.
So Nickelodeon Studios was super cool. Apparently, if you go to the bathrooms, it's Nickelodeon themed.
Yeah, it's still.
Neither of us did, just to be honest, but we definitely thought about it. But the show was so cool that I didn't want to leave. You know what I mean? Like, the show was so good.
Yeah.
That I just didn't want to get up. Max in the show was super funny. He is super cute. Like, you can
The
see the
little
trainer like clicking at him and stuff. And he's like, what am I supposed to do? Loved it. The Grinch, phenomenal.
Yes, he did such a great job. The
Who's really good.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. They had one of the Who's didn't have makeup on. And we were talking about it. We felt like maybe she was like a backup that they had that came in to just sing, because she was amazing. Voice-wise and stuff. She was fantastic. But
yeah, the person who played Martha.
Yeah, but she wasn't in Who costume.
So
well, I should say Who face. She wasn't a costume, I guess.
Yeah, she just didn't have her Who face on, or at least that we. I mean, when I looked at it, I couldn't see it.
She didn't. No, she didn't. I looked in the video too. She didn't have the. It was basically the nose.
Yeah.
They do like different stuff around the nose to make it kind of like more pointy.
But she was still amazing.
Oh yeah, she was phenomenal. Like, excellent voice, really fun. The narrating stuff. It was kind of cool. We saw other vloggers go, and apparently different actors in the show sing different parts depending on which one you get to, which is a neat little piece that if you want to see it more than once, there's other things that you're going to be able to see in the show.
Yeah, and it was honestly, it got us started in the right direction. I want to say it really gets you in the spirit.
We had great seats.
Yeah.
So we were like right up front. We were right in front of the Grinch. Honestly, we were on that side stage. I would have liked to have been in the center, but that's just a preference thing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. We're like 2 rows back.
Getting to see Max and his little trainer. I mean, I'm good.
Yeah,
I see them. I'm good. Side. Yeah. Good little doggy doing his little thing. And I'm just like, I can't wait to meet him later.
So we did that. That was a cool little show, and that took probably about like
an hour.
30 for a minute of the show.
Yeah, and then it was about an hour, like overall back in that Whoville area, I would say.
And then once we finished that, you head to the other park. So
and he talked about the outside, the big balloon. The balloon that they put outside the Universal Studio sign is the actual size of one of the balloons in the float.
Yeah.
And they used to have floats sent to them from Macy's. However, now they have their own floats. So Macy's no longer sends them the floats.
So they would send them the Macy's Day Parade floats. So after the Macy's Day Parade, they would send all the floats there. And basically you just see the Macy's Day Parade
at Universal
Studios. But now they have their own, which is noticeable because most of them are IPs.
Yeah.
And now it's just sponsored by Macy's. We'll get to it too, but that pleasantly was surprising for me.
I really enjoyed that parade a lot, but we'll get to that because that's kind of how we ended our day.
Yeah. So then we head in, right? So we head into Universal Studios, and we made some cookies.
Yeah, we got to decorate Christmas cookies. Our group got to pick between a gingerbread or sugar cookie, and they gave us icing and different little sprinkles or nuts or pretzels and Pop Rocks. Okay, Pop Rocks on a cookie. Didn't think I needed it in my life, but you should try that.
So there were no nuts because that would be an allergy thing.
Yeah, never mind. I meant pretzels. Like, yeah.
They basically went to like the store and got all those like sprinkles, like
Mm-hmm.
stars and candy canes and reefs, and they're just like the tiny candies. You got to decorate it however you wanted. I made a gingerbread,
Mm-hmm.
and he looked okay. You know, he's
I
okay.
made a sugar.
Yeah, you made a sugar, and Sean said that you were the best of the day.
Oh, sweet.
So you fed that ego boost for you.
Oh, thank you. I didn't hear it, and maybe I take my humble bow.
Take my humble bow.
I take my humble bow.
But it was really fun making the cookies. I thought it was going to be a little cheesy, but it was fun. You got to walk around the
Mhm.
building and see all like so when you start the VIP tour in Hollywood, they start out in basically the same
Mhm.
setup building. And so you go upstairs. So it had like a lot of like pictures of Universal Studios about what Universal Studios section is supposed to look like.
Mhm.
And it was just kind of cool going around there. A lot of movie history in there. Really neat little area.
Yeah, a lot of concept art for
Yeah.
how they were going to build their backlot and all of that jazz, and that was kind of cool to see.
So it was really nice to be able to take a kind of a little break there and just
Mhm.
kind of see everything. And then after we went there, I believe we went to
See Santa Claus.
see Santa Claus. So the
Yep.
ride wasn't next.
Nope.
Okay. So we go and see. No, we went to the ride before.
The ride was before the Grinch.
It's the railing with toes.
Yeah. The ride was before the Grinch. We went and met Santa Claus.
You're right. Because okay. So Santa was up by Jimmy Fallon.
Mm-hmm.
So you go towards the Jimmy Fallon ride, and you basically take an elevator up there, and he meets in the second story of that building.
Which was it was a really nice space that they had. They had couches, so you could just kind of hang out.
Your view was super cool. If you went outside, it had this cool view of like the main street down there. Really cool.
We also got to see kind of where they've taken, before we went into that room where Santa Claus was, we got to go see where they have taken down Rip Ride Rocket.
Yeah, you got to see all that fun stuff.
So that was interesting to see that construction that you can't really see from the main strip, but being up high and kind of towards the back side of that big performance area, you could see backstage back there, which was really cool.
That was really nice. Really kind of an extra that you get from the tour, and then meeting Santa. Again, we talked about this already, but Santa was so nice.
He asked us what we wanted.
Yeah.
And I got him to say 6'7".
6'7".
Not really on purpose. He did it all on his own.
It was all on his own.
I didn't ask him to.
Yeah. He just randomly said it. Because we
took his time.
Yeah. Like I didn't feel rushed.
No.
Like the one thing I will say is like during none of these meet and greets did I feel rushed.
Nope.
It was very like paced out well. You got to spend a good time with them. You got to talk to them.
They took video and pictures on my phone, which was amazing.
So Santa, great experience.
Yeah.
Then you kind of wait for the rest of the people to meet and greet. So how it works is we're probably in like a group of 20 maybe, but really 10 because each person was with somebody. So it was like 2 offs. So you basically just wait for the 10 groups to do their meet and greets.
I think we had 12 in our group because I just remember him saying all the time we have 6 groups of 2.
Okay, so we had 12. So, it's only 6 groups. It wasn't that big, and I think the most they can get is 20. So
yeah,
that's the max of the groups. We just like hung out, and we would take in the views or take in the sights while you wait for the other groups. After that, then we headed to
the tree.
The tree, yes.
Yeah, we went to the tree. He gave us a little bit of the lore.
Earl the squirrel.
And we got some pictures taken with the tree. And then there was like a little performance over by the tree with some people with some stilts and some dancers.
I think that was coincidental, though. I don't think that was on purpose.
It wasn't. Yeah, it just kind of happened. We lived the moment.
And a YouTube side note is that is the one spot I got a ding for copyright out of that whole tour.
Yeah.
Something that was like just adjacent to us is what got me the copyright claim on that I had to fix. But the tree was cool. We got to see Earl the Squirrel. He actually told the lady in our group that Earl the Squirrel was real.
Yeah.
In the tree. And it's like this clearly plastic thing that comes out. It was so funny.
I'm not going to lie. I was like, wait, is there really a squirrel? Do they really have a squirrel? And then I was like, oh, he's not.
I think he was real at one point. I think the story was real. It's just he's not real anymore.
And then we kind of like walked through the park a little bit. He talked a little bit more about the wreaths and like the little homages to the rides within the wreaths. And then
I hit the tribute store.
Yep. Then we kind of do that circle. So you kind of go up and then kind of cut through where they filmed all that. By the way, the intro to all that. We actually did a video on that. And we went back to the little filming locations for the intro for all that, which is back over there in the streets of New York. So definitely, if you guys want to check that out, we kind of added that to one of our trips.
I think on the Orlando Informer video,
which is also another great way to see Universal. And yeah, so we did the tribute store, and the tribute store was really cute.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was
love
very,
the tribute store.
Iceland. Like, I love the Aurora Borealis in the ceiling, and just kind of like everything was pretty.
Yeah, it was. And then that's also where you kind of can get like some themed treats and some of the themed merch.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of characters out. We weren't going to meet them, but they had a lot of characters out, and we ended up leaving just before I think Marilyn Monroe came out.
Yeah. But Earl Escore was actually there when we got there doing a meet and greet. So there's a meet and greet with him right outside the tribute store. That wasn't part of the tour. It was, again, coincidence.
Just one of those happy moments. And then our tour guide was like, hey, what do you guys want to ride? Because we're all adults. And if you guys are willing, we can go the distance.
We can go.
And so we did. We walked our little butts all the way to Men in Black.
Yes.
Because usually they don't do Men in Black. They either do like E.T. or
mostly E.T.
the Minions coaster, because they usually have kids, and they're trying to make it so that everybody feels included. And we were the only group that has ever gone to Men in Black. I don't know if subsequent groups actually got to try that after the fact. He's like, I'm going to try this. He's like, we can go to any one ride we want. We're going to go here.
Yeah, we booked it over there. And Men in Black, great ride. It's like Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, just a little bit better.
Which I heard they got new guns.
I heard they are getting new guns on.
So we'll make it back one of these days, and we'll try it. We'll see what happens.
The Galactic Heroes will have to return.
Yeah.
We need to do like one of those like Armageddon shots where in the movie Armageddon where they're getting ready to load the space shuttle. That's what we'll do as we're walking into the park. The Galactic Heroes are back.
I think it would be really funny to use that Star Wars sound where he's like, I'm going in. And then like you have one person in one car and one person in the other, and then the other person with the sound. They just as they go around in circles. I feel like that would be hilarious. I feel like that would make a really cute TikTok. I don't know. Let me know. Don't steal my idea.
But I really like the Men in Black ride. It's fun. We didn't get to go down and do the special tour that you could do, but that was just a time constraint thing. I imagine if we asked, he probably would have been cool with it.
And then we booked it back over to I think it's La Bamba Cafe is the restaurant area. If you're trying to think of where we were going, it's in that area, but it's actually an office situation. That's before the restaurant. And we went back there and we got to meet Max and then the Grinch.
Yeah, that was really cute. The first room you go into is Max, and then you hitch the next room is where you get to meet good old Grinchy. And Max was obviously cute.
Yeah.
Super, super cute little pup. He's again just waiting for his treats.
Yeah, he's focused on his trainer. Yeah. He is locked in, and he is like treat.
Yeah.
Treat.
Yeah.
Treat. I'm good boy. Treat.
He's a very treat motivated pup.
Yeah.
And then the Grinch was phenomenal.
He was hilarious.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the weather. We got to talk about his acting chops and how management needs to highlight a little bit more of the Grinch in the show.
Yeah.
So I was like, where can I go with this? Improv, if you really want a legit tip on how to talk to characters, improv is probably the best way to go about it because they're improv trained, right? Because that's essentially what they're doing. They have some go-tos that they can go to if they're with somebody who doesn't have. They come to the table with a blank slate and they're just like, I don't know what to talk to you about. But if you really want to try and like make these encounters a little bit more every time, just go with some improv, like just come up with like one or two questions and just be willing to banter back and forth with whatever they come at you with. And you would just be surprised because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk to him about. I don't know where this is going to go. The only thing I know is that it was gloomy this morning, and that's Grinchy vibes. So that's what I went with, and it evolved into what it ended up being.
Yeah, he's really nice
Mm-hmm.
and super fun. And again, cannot recommend it the most. That is, I feel like that is the selling
Antithesis.
point
Yeah.
of the tour, though, is seeing the Grinch, because you get your own private queue. You don't really have to wait. It's very relaxed. You're not rushed.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just fun. It's all just
It's
all around
hangout.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just like hanging out with your group, chilling, talking to your tour guide. If you want to make friends with the people in your group, you can make friends and talk to them. Um, yeah, so it's very chill vibes, and again, didn't feel rushed. We got a lot of great pictures. Again, they took pictures and video with my phone, and then obviously what Gary took with his camera, and it was amazing. And then we went um
Snacks.
around the
Snacks night.
corner to where they had the snackies, which I have to say was more than just light snacks.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite thing was that turkey. It had a turkey stuffing, dressing,
Mm-hmm.
peas, like I don't know what
It
you
was
call
like
it,
a
like a
holiday
bake.
casserole, I
Yeah.
think is kind of what they called it, and
Oh,
that
it was
was
good.
delicious.
That was good.
The
Yeah.
macaroni and cheese was also really
Mm-hmm.
good. They had a fruit platter, they had desserts. They had like 7 different kinds of desserts.
Yeah, they had like these cheesecake squares. They were good. Honestly, the food there was some of the better theme park food we had in Universal so far.
And what was
Um,
cool about it, and everybody kind of went through that room obviously at different times. Ours was at the end of the day, so it kind
Perfect.
of worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
We got to have a drink and some snacks and relax. And then once we were done there, we packed up and we went to our parade viewing location.
Yeah, they have this little set aside area for the parade. Now, the one thing I will say, and we talked about this, is that you don't really get a good view of the tree from the private area,
Mm-hmm.
which would be nice to have. But otherwise, the parade was amazing and the spot was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I pretty much sat because I was gassed, and
Yeah.
I got from street level view the parade. The parade was all me. So if you enjoyed the parade shooting, that was all Nacy. Hopefully Gary made it look good. But
Yeah, I love the parade. The parade was actually surprising to me. I was expecting kind of like the old parades where they weren't,
mm,
there's like,
my
they're
favorite,
okay, but
I think my favorite act in the entire parade was the blind mice.
yeah, very
And
funny.
they were, at one point on my side, they were like walking into the rope that was like blocking off the VIP section. And then after they passed us, I looked across the street. They were looking in somebody's, well, I say looking, but they were going rummaging through someone's stroller, and there was obviously no baby in it, and they were just like, baby, baby, like as they were like, and like they were, yeah, it was just obviously clearly being blind, like there was
It's
no
three blind
baby.
mice. Yeah.
So I thought that was hilarious and just so on point. And it's the little things that Disney's missing that I think Universal's trying to bring. Like they last year they had the guy that was ticking the names off the list, and Disney took it away this year. And guess what? He went to Universal, different name, changed his name, but it's the little nuances that you see in the park that are just that is what makes theme parks experiences fun for me. And we've talked about this. People watching, just sitting somewhere and just taking it in and just watching people enjoy themselves, or something funny happens with like a character interaction and you're just watching somebody live this moment. I think that is fun as well, to just be able to take it in. We get so boggled with like, gotta ride, gotta go stand in this line, that we forget to take it in. And that's one of my favorite things to do in theme parks, is just kind of watch all the characters and watch the people. And I know we really want to go back and meet like Megatron and
Mm-hmm.
Optimus and Bumblebee and do that character experience. So that'll probably happen next year. But I love talking to characters and just watching the 3 blind mice walk into things.
The three blind mice. Everything was cool, honestly. And again, we talk about this, and then that ends the tour. By the way, before we move on, that was
Mm-hmm.
the end of the tour. The parades were good. The balloons in the parades were good. The floats were really cool. I mean, overall,
It was
a great
amazing.
experience. And then just the whole tour in itself
Yeah.
was So worth it. I was questioning, like you always question whether the VIP tours are going to be worth the money. This one definitely was.
Yeah.
For sure.
And just for full transparency, we paid about $120 a person.
Yeah.
Which does not include your park admission, but because we're pass holders, that was already taken care of. So just know if you're doing the tour and you're not a pass holder, you do still have to pay for your ticket for the day, even though you are going to be in the tour all day.
Yep. Yeah. So worth it though. I
Yeah.
understand why it's so worth it. And the only thing that disappoints me is we didn't get back to the original starting spot to just kind of take it in a little bit more afterwards. But that was just us being exhausted. So that was just how it all shook out.
But I would definitely do it again next year. We've already talked about it, and I'm going to dress up.
And something to know too is that if you're doing this tour, don't expect to do anything really else in the park.
No.
You're basically going from almost park opening to park close. So if you want to do this, devote the whole day to it, because that's the only way you're going to be able to successfully kind of get through it and not be disappointed that you didn't get to the other stuff you needed to do.
Yeah, like you said, just know that's it. That's your day. This tour is your day. You're not you might be able to get on another ride or two after it's over, but you got slim pickings.
Slim pickings. So our next topic is not as positive, but it's our Universal VIP tour that we did in Hollywood. Now this has been on the channel. We did it probably like June or July of last year. We just haven't had a podcast that we had the opportunity to talk about it, and we wanted to kind of throw it in here. Yeah, so it wasn't as positive as the Grinch one. The Grinch one, do it. We did a VIP tour over in Hollywood. Now, for those that don't know, and if you've only been to Orlando's Universal, Hollywood is much smaller. It's actually on 2 different levels. It's a tinier park. Most of the park is really the backlot tour,
because it's still a working studio.
Which is great. The backlot tour is amazing.
Yeah.
Even just going on the backlot tour without doing a VIP tour is amazing in my opinion, because you get to see all these like sets.
Agree. It's a different vibe over in Hollywood, and obviously we knew nothing going into Universal Hollywood. We've never been to that park. We've driven by it a lot, and we've seen a few videos from some vloggers out in California go. But we didn't know a whole lot going into it. And so we were like, well, what's the best way that we can see this park, get the highlights, and hopefully have the best experience and possibly a good enough experience that we want to buy an annual pass, since we're in LA.
That was the goal, was to check it out just to see if we wanted to buy an annual pass.
One thing about this tour, I believe it was roughly about $400 and something per person. So just know that going into it. And it does include your theme park admission. So unlike Universal Studios Orlando, it does include your admission for the day. So you don't need an additional ticket. And it does also come with lunch and breakfast. So they do feed you on this tour. It's not a light snacks thing. It's like a full buffet. They have characters that kind of run around the buffet as well. And it is also supposed to be an 8-hour tour. Outside of the 8 hours, after your 8-hour tour is over, then you can kind of go and explore until the park closes on your own. But you are supposed to have a dedicated guide for 8 hours.
Yeah. We're not going to detail specifically like how we did with the Grinch, like each step of it. It's supposed to be up to you. So you and your group, obviously, this is a group-based one too. You and your group are supposed to be able to like come up with an idea about how the tour is supposed to go. That didn't happen with ours, but that is part of it.
The biggest thing that's scheduled is your backlot tour. That it's about 2.5 hours on the backlot, but you're in your own vehicle. I believe it is air conditioned, and they have waters and stuff on the bus, and they basically take you around the Hollywood backlot in places that they don't take you on the standard backlot tour, which is amazing.
And you can get out. So you can get out on this tour and actually walk some of these areas, where if you're on the standard backlot tour, you're just stuck on a little like bus cart thingy. That was cool. That was one of the benefits of this tour. Even with our bad experience, it was still a lot of fun. There. Standing in Back to the Future, that was so cool. Like standing at the courthouse, seeing where they filmed the hoverboard scene, seeing where they did the lightning strike scene. So cool.
Fascinating. Yeah.
So absolutely amazing.
And talking about Back to the Future, the amount of places we have now stood where
Yeah.
they all stood at one point in time, mind-boggling to just
Yes, I love that
to
line.
think that we have been where movies are made. And there's just a magic about that. If you're somebody who loves film, if you're somebody who loves movies, even if you're someone who just like enjoys crappy movies, like you just knowing that this is where people came up with ideas, this is where people filmed it. You know, we went past the offices where probably a lot of scripts were written, where a lot of edits were done and corrections were done. We went through the prop department, which I have to say the prop department felt a little
Rushed.
fake.
Yeah, and rushed.
It felt very fabricated in what they show you and just your experience of the prop room. But I will say it was still cool to see props because there were tags on several things that you could tell were from current productions. And that was really cool. Now there is no filming allowed in the props department. Apparently they used to allow that, but now they no longer do. I don't work for Universal, but that is the case for the prop department. But that was also really amazing to see the way that the props department is and all of that, and just getting to just I don't know, just seeing all these things that have been in really big movies. Like they had a lot of stuff from The Mummy. They had some stuff from the St. Dennis show, which I'm gonna get to in just a second, and like everything from like a chandelier to a rug to a random book.
Yep.
And if you're a production, if you're shooting something in LA, you can rent from the Universal prop department as well. So that's another interesting thing is like they have stuff like boxed up ready to go for like other people's productions. And it's just a library of different things that you could essentially use for a movie you're making or a show or any type of production, really. And going back to you talking about the Back to the Future site, we got to see the exterior shots for St. Dennis Medical. And St. Dennis Medical is kind of like an office nurse show on, I think, NBC. And so we got to see the external filming locations for that on that tour. And then when we went back over to Hollywood in December, we stayed at a hotel. And weirdly enough, we were like, there's nothing to watch. Let's watch St. Dennis because, you know, whatever, we're here. And there's the hotel pool in the show. So they literally filmed exterior shots on site at that pool at the Hilton Universal City, in case you're wondering, Studio City, if in case you want to go there. They literally filmed at that pool, and it's just crazy. And it's steps away, you know, like it's really close to Universal. So you can see why they would use it. But Universal Hollywood just has a different little spark to it than Orlando.
Yeah, with the movie aspect of it, for sure. So we did that. The backlot thing was great. Seeing the different things, we got to see where like the Good Place was filmed. We got like the generic New York street, which has been in like a ton of movies and stuff. Hit up a couple other areas. Really, really neat backlot tour. We didn't get to do the was it Fast and Furious or King Kong experience because there was another tram in front of us and they didn't want to wait, so they just zoomed us out of the ride altogether, which is kind of indicative of how the rest of the tour would go. Rushed and kind of not focused.
Yeah. The biggest disappointment, I think, was just the fact that he kept trying to ditch us.
Yeah, and we'll talk about a little bit about that at the end. And then we got to do the lunch, which was great. I did enjoy the lunch. That was fun. And we had, I think, Marilyn Monroe.
Lucy,
yeah.
and she's retired now. You cannot meet Lucille Ball as a character at Universal Hollywood anymore.
Which hurts because her actual like office used to be on that property. Like it's crazy to think that she used to have an office there. She's a huge part of that history, and yet they just kind of took her out.
I'm wondering if it's possibly has to do with the person who played her in the parks stepping down. I'm not sure.
Could be.
If they couldn't find somebody they felt embodied that character enough. Because if you know anything about Lucille Ball, she is a character.
Yeah.
And the energy she brings. So I don't know if that had a role to play with it. You know, there's all kinds of changes happening behind the scenes that we don't know everything about. But yeah, so we got to be in one of the last groups that got to meet her this year.
And then basically the time's up to you and your group about what happens next. And the
Mm-hmm.
problem that we had doing this tour, and Nacy's already alluded to it a little bit, is from the moment we walk off the studio tour, our guide is like, hey, this is really all I can do for you. So if anytime you just want to go on your own, I'm good with it. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
stay here with me. And he kept saying that probably every like 5 or so minutes. He would repeat almost the same thing, just in like different ways. Like, hey, if you guys want to go on your own, you don't need me anymore. I don't need to be here. And it's like,
Yeah.
hey, we're supposed to have you for 8 hours. Like, why are you
Trying to
doing
ditch.
this? And by the way, just so you know, in case you get the same tour guide ever or somebody else says that, they can do a lot for you. They physically take you to the front of the line. So if you have lightning lane or
You still
whatever
got
they
to go
call
to the
it,
back.
you go to the back of that line and then you wait in that line. Whereas if you have him, he just weaves you through it and like, hey, sorry, coming through.
Especially at Mario Kart.
Yeah. And by the way, Mario Kart was one of the last rides we went to. So if you didn't stick with him, you wouldn't have gotten that bump.
He also can hold your bags while you ride the
Yep.
coaster, so you don't have to use a locker.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to it. And also I think the other disappointment we had, because this is what we were hoping we were going to experience, which we did when we took the holiday tour, was getting the lore and getting some of the backstories about how they might have built the land, or maybe some inspiration, or, you know, little tidbits behind the scenes from somebody
Who should know?
And we thought, Universal's only going to put the people who love this park the most, who love these movies the most, because that's your face. This is your premium product. We were hoping we were going to get somebody who was going to give us that level of love for Universal, so that in turn, we were going to fall in love with it. And we subsequently would, and it didn't turn me off from the park in and of itself. I would like to say that I do still want to go back to Universal Hollywood, which we'll touch on at the end of the story. But I still have a deep appreciation for it. I was just disappointed with how it was presented.
Yeah, agree. It was an experience because it just seemed like he didn't care. People would ask him about stuff and he would either blow it off or not know. Like we were talking about the 2.0 wands. He had no idea those were coming out. And now they're out for even the standard wands now some of them have been replaced by 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he had no idea about that, it's like, so how do you not know? Do you just not care?
Yeah.
Constantly telling us like, we had this kid in the group who was like, do you want to ride the mummy with us? And he was just really snarky back to the kid, and not in like a funny way, just as in like a very like angry, like he doesn't want to be here way.
Mm-hmm.
And it just really sort of put off the rest of the day too.
Yeah. And so we finally finished off our day and said our parted ways and went back to the hotel and just kind of decompressed a little, and we gave it some time. We wanted to think it over, make sure we weren't overreacting. And we did choose to reach out to Universal's customer service about it. And, we gave them a detailed report. It actually took some time for them to get back to us. And
we had to contact multiple people. Yeah.
Come to find out that our name got passed around through Hollywood, through Universal, back to Hollywood.
For some odd reason, they sent it to Universal Florida.
Yeah.
Like our thing. And I was like, I'm guessing we were associated somehow with our Universal Orlando. So they sent it there instead of Hollywood. And then it just got lost on somebody's desk. And so then the lady we were talking to eventually found it and was like, oh yeah, here it is. And it's that was weird, but it worked out.
Yeah.
Well, we think it does. We haven't actually done it yet. So we had a phone call with somebody, one of the higher ups, pretty good conversation. And then she offered to basically give us tickets to Universal Hollywood again, to just do it on our own instead of the VIP, but giving us all the perks of the VIP supposedly. And we were going to use it last time we were in, but then I hurt my knee.
And again, like we said, we had a VIP tour coming up that we had already paid for, and we needed to make sure he was going to be okay. And I'm like, these tickets should still be good for a while. She didn't give us a time limit on them. I'm like, we can always come back. We're always in LA.
Yeah. So we're planning still to do it. It's just we haven't had the opportunity to see if it all works out. And we'll definitely tell you on Awkward Chats and on Lost Girl in Tomorrowland on YouTube how it goes when we actually do try it.
because we have to go to will call to pick up these tickets.
Yeah.
So I'm a little like, so we'll see what happens. I mean, I believe that they're there and they exist.
Yeah.
But it's always one of those like Schrodinger's cat kind of thing. Like, is it in there? Is it not in there? Is it in there? Is it not in there? So that'll be next year. One of our trips to LA will definitely try to tackle that beast again.
And it's weird too, because I was hesitant when we booked the Grinch thing because of this experience. But it turned out that the Grinch thing was really good.
Yeah.
So it's like you really can have hit or miss experiences that can shape your entire view and perception of
a product.
Of the park. Yeah. Because like I currently don't have that great of a perception of Hollywood Universal. I love the backlot, which kind of helps it. So that kind of helps it. But other than that, the actual park itself, I don't really have much of a view of it at all, because we felt like, honestly, the entire time we were running from point A to B, I mean, it was like a really fast
We didn't
walk.
get to take it in.
Yeah.
We didn't get any secrets.
Yeah.
I say secrets, but like lore, you know, like this is the history. This is, you know, so-and-so shot this from over here. And
Well, like a great example is we were watching another vlogger do it, and the guy was right outside the Universal Jurassic Park ride. And he was like, so Lucille Ball's old office used to be like 500 feet right there. That would be where Lucille Ball's actual office was. That kind of like insider knowledge is what we were looking for on the tour. We got none of that.
Yeah. So that just really kind of hurt. Yeah. It bummed us out for a bit. We were definitely bummed.
Well, in all honesty, when I was taking the tour after the backlot tour, we went to the dog ride, the new Secret Life of Pets ride. We went there, and I couldn't fit on that ride, and he basically shooed me off to a corner and was like, you just go sit there. I'll come and get you when we're all done. And so then I had to just go sit at this like table. I found a table to sit at, and that's where I sat for like 20 minutes. I was like, at that point, I'm like, I should just leave. This is pointless for me. He clearly doesn't care what my experience feels like. So he clearly doesn't care about what my experience feels like. So why am I here? So I was definitely in a place where I was like considering just leaving at that point.
It did take a lot for me to get him to just stick it through with me for the rest of the day. I completely understood that he was not feeling it, that the vibes were definitely off, but I needed my moral support human. Yeah.
But we did. Yeah. And we are looking forward to going back. I am looking forward to going back and kind of seeing it all again. This time, though, we're going to just take in the park side of it, I think, and kind of just like take in all the pieces. Really want to spend some time in Super Nintendo World and kind of interact with that.
Because we even bought bands before this tour, thinking we were going to get to play around, and then everything kind of went down in the land, and it just... Yeah.
Well, yeah, everything fell. We were there and everything literally shut off while she was on the ride. But even on top of that, our park guide never talked about the bands, never mentioned the bands, never took us into any of the shops.
Never was like, hey, we're going to this place. Like maybe
you'd like to get a band if you want to track your coins. Do you want to know anything about
it? Like,
yeah, nothing.
Nothing about the Toadstool Cafe.
Nothing.
The other thing is they typically end that tour at the Worlds or whatever that is.
The Water World.
The Water World show.
Yeah.
And
didn't even take us.
He was like, well, you can look on the times guides.
Yeah.
For the times of the show.
He literally said that. Yeah. He's like, you can look at the times. We're like, isn't that where this is supposed to end? It's kind of like the show.
I was just like, I was so like, what? Wait, but you're supposed to be my guide. Like you're supposed to take care of this for me. Yeah. And you're supposed to be like, well, there's a time at this time and this time. And I suggest this time. You know, but that's technically where they're supposed to like drop you off and like kind of in the tour, and then you take it from there. Because you can do other things with your lanyard, but the point is that you have the guide to get you on as many rides as you can for those 8 hours, talk about a lot of stuff. And that's the premise of this ride. And then when your tour is over, you still have a pass that if you want to go back and re-ride anything, you can.
Yep. And
so...
it was just a bad experience, and we're hoping that our return trip will be better. Again, we were considering doing annual passes because it's not that expensive. We're always out in LA and Hollywood, and it gives us some options like we did with Knott's last year. We would peek in like on travel days. So if we had a late travel day, we would peek into Knott's. If we got in there early, we would go to Knott's and have some fun. And we were thinking about doing the same thing with Universal. We're just hesitant now. Because it wasn't a great experience.
So we'll see how this next trip goes.
We just want to take a moment to thank you all for watching the video. To those 90% of you guys out there watching who haven't subscribed yet, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. It really helps our channel grow and reach a wider audience. And for all those other YouTube personalities that you're watching out there, I'm sure they would appreciate it as well. To those that have subscribed, thank you for tagging along with us on our journeys. We appreciate your love, support, your likes, and all those wonderful comments that we're getting too on our videos. So we look forward to taking you on our next adventure. We'll see you on the next one.